Hi and welcome to Excel Plus for all things Excel, tips, tricks, things to do on a long winter night when you don't really want to go out, it's too cold, not much on TV, the Xbox isn't working, hell, what else are you going to do? Let's play with some Excel. Now, here's where we were at the end of the last tutorial. That region view is nicely set up, linked to a slicer. Red, amber, green status. Now let's add the comments. That's pretty straightforward. So the theory being at the end of each month, you want to put in a few little comments, because really if you look at a dashboard, they can often just be a lot of complicated numbers, overly formatted graphs, etc. But really you want is the picture, you want the story. What does it really tell you? You want a few keywords in there. Who's doing good, who's doing bad, like many things. 80% of the variance is driven by 20% of the underlying transactions. So it's honing in on that, so I guess that Pareto analysis, that 20%. So this is just going to be a simple table. I'll show you how I did it on the main one. Commentary, hey, just the months, the month number, and some comments. I could just copy paste that in, really, couldn't I? Save us some time. Let's have a look. Copy that. Go on to the commentary tab. Whoa! So what have we got? We've got the month again, and a month value. That's so we can drive a lookup. And then I've just manually typed a few comments in. Let's see, what did I put in? Region 12. Regional uncertainty. when is there never regional uncertainty somewhere in the world? Yeah, a growth challenge. Looks like the sales guys were getting a bit of a kicking there and told to sell a bit more. So whatever you want to put in here, and of course I've formatted it as a table. So when the time comes to put extra data in, it will then just auto expand, although we'll probably have to do something with these values. So there's that table in, and what we need to do is then just to do a VLOOKUP on the month we're selecting. Now the month we're selecting on the region revenue is that. So let's put in a month formula. So we're currently selecting month 12. So when I alter my slicer, that month formula will just count down from 12 down to 1. And then we want to do a lookup using that to drive the commentary. Let's have a look. Did I do a named range comments? Haha, I did. So there we go. Although that's not going to work because it basically wants to be on column B, not column A. So let's go into formulas, name manager, and comments. It's the table. See what's going on. We'll set up another named range, shall we? And we'll call that comments 2. Right, go to the summary, and we want VLOOKUP. Lookup value is going to be that date, or that number. Table array, that's going to be comments 2. Column index, it's going to be the second column, and it wants to be an exact match. That should be it. There we go. So at the end of each month, someone can go into the commentary tab and type something into the relevant cell. Government cutbacks seemingly can't spell. Let's do an F7 on there. Not too bad. That's quite an easy one. Now the waterfall chart. It's just, now I have done a tutorial on how to do waterfall charts, and I'm using the exact same one in this. You may want to go and check out that tutorial. However, rather than break the flow and ask you to flip between tutorials, because the format is a little different on this one because it is quite dynamic, I'll go over it again here as well. But there is a separate standalone tutorial on that. So let's go to the parameters tab. Now I've left the format of the table set up. Basically, so this isn't a tutorial on how to format spreadsheets and how to put numbers in columns. I mean, you all know that. So this is basically how to set up the data to drive the waterfall chart. So we're going to take the actuals there, and let's have a check. Yeah, so it's just the revenues. So it's just the revenues of the pivot table, and it's year to date. Again, that problem again. F4. There we go, actual year to date, and let's copy those across. Prior year, budget, forecast. Now the variances or deltas, obviously I was getting a bit carried away there by using deltas. Use whatever you prefer. Sometimes delta sounds quite nice, doesn't it? A lot better than variance. Makes you sound a little maybe smarter than what you are. Right, let's put in the delta, shall we? Prior year. So actual less prior year, and same for forecast. Right, and we're there. Now we also need to know which territories we're dealing with. Again, go back to region revenue, which is why if you've got a really well set up pivot table, you can drive so much off it. Now let's move down these. So that's just a table of the year to date comparators and the variances or deltas. Next table down, we construct the bridge. So all the bridge is something that tracks between a starting point, i.e. your prior year revenue, and an end point, your current year revenue. So let's have a look. Prior year, then the prior year differences. Wait a sec. I've just copied those formulas straight across, and that's not correct. We needed to have the column locked. There we go. Because in this instance, the bridge always comes back to the same value. It's the actual, so it's the movement between prior year and actual, budget and actual, and forecast and actual. So it should always end with the same number. So there are your bridges. Now here is the data for the waterfall graph. So that's, I'm getting close to 10 minutes. It's probably a good place to end it. In the next tutorial will be the creation of and the formatting of the waterfall graph, and I'll explain the formulas in there. And again, as you can see, even on the backup tables, I've used the same formatting. Grayed out columns and headings, however, normal text for numbers. Again, it's whatever you prefer. I've kind of got used to this. I've been using it now for a while, and I quite like it. I do find it helps the numbers leap off the page. I'll tell you what as well. Shall we untick those grid lines? There we go. Makes it stand out even better. Right, so I'll leave it there. I'm coming up against the 10 minutes. So as always, email me any questions, queries, any problems, any suggestions for future tutorials, and we'll keep that Excel rocking. Yeah, we'll enjoy our Excel. You know, it's who needs a Marshall amp and a Stratocaster when you've got Excel to play with instead. Great stuff. Right, just check out the channel. There'll be another tutorial up soon.